Hello and welcome to Hearts of Iron 4, specifically the Old World Blues mod. Now, I haven't played Hearts of Iron 4 on the channel before, and in full transparency, I have not ever played Hearts of Iron 4. I've watched some gameplay videos of it, and it looks really cool. I gotta be honest with you, it's really intimidating. I loaded into a game just to see and try to familiarize myself with the menus. It's absolutely a lot. I think I got the gist of it, the basics, and I've watched gameplay videos before, but I don't know, there's such a difference in being in front of the screen with all the selections. So we're gonna try our best here. Let me go into single player, hold on a second. We're gonna go to new game, and if this works for us, there's a lot of series to be had here, guys. We're gonna go West Coast for now, press done, and then hang with me for a second, but I am gonna click on Vault City. Now, a couple of ground rules for this playthrough of Hearts of Iron, and Old World Blues specifically. Again, first of all, I don't know the game, that's fine. Second of all, I do want to learn it with you guys, but I am going to batch record a little bit, so keep that in mind if you give me recommendations. I have batch recorded a little bit. And third of all, I wanna start with a smaller state or smaller, not kingdom, but kingdom, so that we have a little bit less to manage for the first run. For that reason, we're actually not going to go with someone big like the New California Republic. If any of you are Fallout fans, you know what this means. Because that's the universe here. We're gonna go with Vault City. I clicked through a couple of them. Vault City, I think, has the most interesting thing for us here. We'll start here. Let's go through a brief history. Surrounding by seemingly endless desert, Vault City is an oasis amongst the suffering wastes. Despite its beautiful appearance, the city is a corrupt pit of ethnocentric elitism and narcissism. Vault City is the most medically advanced faction in the Wasteland, capable of cloning limbs and treating injuries that would be untreatable to others. But this knowledge remains sealed behind their walls. The former inhabitants of Vault 8 stand at a precipice where they must decide the future of their city-state. Whether they continue to spread their name in infamy remains to be seen. Okay, here's what we know about Hearts of Iron. It is very numbers driven. For example, actually, hold on with me here. There, okay. Marvels of the Vault City. Research speed +5. Cool. The justify war goal time is +50%, so it's going to take longer to justify war goals, but medical technology research speed is +20. NCR garrison gives us manpower and stability, but it minuses war support, and there's some resources lost, as well as political power gain is decreased. But these can go away. We're going to press select country so you guys can stop staring at that screen. And we are here in Vault City. We're going to hang on with most of these. I'm going to go average Joe for now because, again, first time playing. So we're going to press start and then hold on a second. All right, here we go. Again, we're going to try our best here. You guys are going to give me tips afterwards, but it'll be a little bit too late by then. Okay, so we have a couple of soldiers here. And you can see these little icons. You can't. You see these little icons here that looks like a bear. I think this is, not really sure, and that's a robot. And that's, I think that's actually VC. I think that's the letters VC. These are obviously my soldiers, and I know from watching videos that I should highlight and press this plus button right here. That creates a division. This is my organization scheme for my army. These are now in one division. I also know from watching videos that we go offensive line, potentially. Oh, front line, I'm sorry. We could put a front line somewhere. I'll just put it here so that we're all in one spot. And I'm gonna move everybody over here. Now I'm gonna be, there we go. So now all of our soldiers are gonna front line this line against MODOK. Not saying we're gonna attack MODOK. Again, this is a little bit me experimenting. I did play very, very little bit just clicking around, but not enough. Okay, second thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go through some of our decisions and our national focus and stuff like that. So hang with me. There's gonna be a lot of reading this first episode, a lot of setting the stage. I know how this works in terms of lore and background and stuff, but then future episodes are gonna be a lot more kind of war focused and stuff like that. So hang with us, or hang with me. Most of this we don't need to worry about. I will look into it later, but it all requires political power, which is this little icon, of which we only have 1. So we have 1, we need 25 if we want to do anything, and we can't even do most of it. So we're going to ignore the decisions. Intelligence agency, that's going to come later. I'm vaguely familiar with what that means. That's like spying and stuff. Research is an interesting one. This is where there is so much to know in this game. I'm absolutely going to be making some wrong decisions, but let's just try it together. I click on, we have By the way, we have 5 research slots. I'm pretty sure, 99% sure that this is abnormal. I think this is really good for most factions or most locations. I don't believe most have more than 2. So we have 5 research slots. This is where we get upgrades to our people and our equipment, etc. For example, and I did look through this previously, we're gonna go over to industry, and the green ones have been researched. So production efficiency cap, dockyard output. I kind of know what some of this means, but this one, for example, basic tools can increase our production efficiency. We're 2 years ahead of time there, so we don't probably want to go there. Just looking for anything easy. Yeah, so for example, manpower plus 250 and monthly population plus 15%. This seems really good to me. I don't know why we wouldn't do this. It's only 54 days. We'll do this. We have a whole bunch of research slots though, remember, so we can keep going. We can repair stuff. We can, no, everything over here seems to be years ahead, so we're gonna kind of ignore a lot of that stuff in this column. We're also gonna go to engineering, because I think there's some good stuff here. For example, reinforce rate and a couple of stuff that is marginally useful, but I know that encryption and decryption, see these two, are gonna be really good for military. This helps us know how many, how many like units our enemy has and stuff like that. So we're gonna start here. I'm also gonna go here, which is research speed. Research speed will only help us. We have the advantage in research slots. Might as well have the advantage in research speed. Now we have a lot of infrastructure-based ones. I'm calling these infrastructure-based. There's a ton here. There's infantry equipment, so pistols and laser weapons and crowd gear, unlocks enforcers. I don't know half of this stuff. Support equipment seems pretty good. Or we can go down the route of maybe like a bicycle for some motorized vehicles. Robotics, we already have a little bit into robotics. Creatures is cool. We don't have any doctrines. So a doctrine is, it's the way we go to war and our bonuses. I don't really know which one we should do. So I think we're just gonna go with conventional, unfortunately. I have a feeling that it's probably the wrong one because we seem to be maybe a little bit automation heavy. Oops. We have some robots already and stuff. But because it's my first time, we're just gonna go here. Again, possibly the wrong call. It's fine, let me make my mistakes. I won't make them in the future. Support, I'm gonna go with support equipment as well. Why? I don't know. We'll have plenty of opportunities. Okay, let's go through the rest of this, then we're gonna start the game, I promise. International market, honestly no clue, we'll come back to it. Trade, this is my resources available. Circuitry, composite materials, etc. I know we can trade, and two essentially kind of like resources in, not resources, two production means that we have here. We have civilian factories, see 8 here. And we have military, or I think they're called arms factories. That should be here. Okay, so hold on. This is our construction. I know this is a ton to take in. Hang with me. I'm literally just dispensing all the knowledge I have about HOI4 for you guys so that we're all on the same page. Our territory is split up into a couple of different divisions. See all the lines here? These are all different like territories, basically. We can build crap in our territories. That's where construction comes in. So for example, we have 8 civilian factories. A civilian factory is what builds stuff. So a civilian workshop. Okay, cool. Sorry, a civilian workshop. I'm gonna click on civilian workshop and we're going to make a new one, let's say here in courtyard. So now see here in courtyard, we're using, okay, I think I'm wrong. I think civilian factories might be different than factories in use, 8. Why? Why are we only using 4? I'm not really sure, but for some reason we're only using 4. So I know that we want to be actively building both civilian and arms workshops. We'll get to arms in a second. So I'm gonna make 2 civilian and 2 arms in the queue, and this will start building. It's gonna take a while, but it'll start building, and that's that. We eventually wanna build things like an airbase for planes and other stuff like that. But this is good, we've done this. Production is where your arms factories or military factories are used. So we have 6 currently. We're using 4 of them here on basic weaponry, 1 of them here in commercial protection, 1 of them here in CNC scrapbot. I don't think we need both of these, to be honest, but that's our 6. If we want to have more production lines, we could. For example, if I click here, we can make more, say, basic caravan equipment or another gun line. Or if we click here, we can make more robot lines. If we click here, we can't make any airplanes or ports, for ships. But this is what we would be doing here. We'll change these as we get upgraded components and stuff like that. Fine. Recruit and deploy are our units. We have a handful of unit here, and more importantly, we have a handful of unit types. Again, sorry, I know this is really basic, and anyone that knows HOI4, thank you so much for sticking with me. I am just trying my best to understand, and I want to convey it to you so that you can come along with me for the ride, because this is crazy overwhelming, trying to get into it. We have a bunch of templates for our soldiers, right? So see VC here, that's this city garrison. And if I press edit, this is what this garrison is. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry that has these stats. Still trying to figure out these stats. I have done a little bit of work here. We're not going to go through it for the sake of me talking way too much on this. We have NCR garrison that is a little bit stronger in some of the stats. We'll go through this later. We have citizens militia that stink. And we have robo security, which are our robots down here for the most part. I'm going to train a city guard. See here? Now that's going to decrease my manpower, which is a very consumable, very scarce resource, it seems like here. It doesn't grow very quickly. That's why I did some of the other research that I did. I'm going to also do 1 robo security, and deployment location we're just going to do wherever. They will take some time to recruit and deploy. And you can see my manpower went down when I added this city guard, I think. For example, if I go like this, add unit, it makes a second one, and you can see that number now is 611. So let's only do 1 for now because we're still trying to figure this out. Logistics, I think, just tells us how much of each we have in inventory. Officer Corps we're not going to worry about for now. And then the last thing I want to do right here is national focus. This is how the game progresses. See this big old thing here? This is like almost the storyline of this playthrough. I know that these first 5 are very text heavy, so you got the added benefit of basically me explaining the game to you, and it's a novice explaining the game to you. Then we're going to read a lot of background lore here. So again, background and it's a background episode, sorry. Next episode will be more action oriented. The all clear takes 7 days, and we get an event that we're going to read. While our records are not entirely certain about when Vault 8 opened, it is clear that it was in the first 1 or 2 decades after the bombs fell. The world was a very different place back then. What were our first steps? Let's start it. Fantastic. And now we're good to go. Guys, I'm going to try speed level 4. I might have to back that off. We'll see. Probably doing some stuff wrong is what it is. We're going to unpause. Days are going to go by. We know after 7 days, we're going to get the first event. I mean, the clock's going real fast because we're on speed 4. I'm probably going to have to slow it down. But for now, I'm just waiting until that first event fires. There we go. No. Okay, hold on. Oh, pause, please. Okay, the all clear. Caps. Okay, the all clear. While our records are not entirely certain, we read this. What were our first steps? Send out scouts. Okay. Add production of, see that? Add production of 4, I think, plastic, and 3, I think, scrap metal. Cool. And 200 manpower. We get 600 manpower. We get 2 outposts and a bunker. Outposts and a bunker are great, I believe, for military, right? For fights. Or we started up the GEC. Manpower plus 400. Add early GEC, which grants production efficiency growth plus 10. I think that's really good. Plus more manpower. Production efficiency growth, I believe, is how quickly this gets up to speed. Production efficiency, my cap, is 49.5%. That's how fast you can produce stuff. When you make a new production line, it starts really at the bottom and it speeds itself up. We can get sped up quicker. I think that's going to be worth it right now. Cap system tutorial. I'm going to do the tutorial. But I'm only going to include it in the recording if it's really interesting. So just hang on 1 second. Okay, I'm not going to lie. That was a lot, and I didn't fully get it, but we're going to try it. We're going to go for it. Okay, so now, for whatever reason, we can see their units that they're lining up, probably in response to us lining up our units. We can do... It says decisions available. Let me just make sure there's nothing else here that we need. There is not. We can go to National Focus. We can go to the Ghouls of Gecko. Another 7 days. Again, there's a decent amount of reading these first couple. It says decisions available, but again, there's nothing there. Route established from New Reno. I guess that's good. Vault City can level up to level 4. I don't know what that means, nor how to update Vault City. But we're not going to worry about it, I guess, for now. Let's unpause and we'll get to the next event. Again, this is going to go very fast. Oh, there's my caps. Yeah, that's my cap. So I am positive in terms of caps. I gain 53,000 NCR dollars per quarter. Okay, we got another national focus. Let's pause. Gecko's Mess. Northeast of our glorious city was a town filled with ghouls who were polluting the groundwater with deadly radiation. The toxins almost led to war between our utopia and the ghouls, but a descendant from Vault 13 was able to broker a peace between us. Vault City protected Gecko and traded medical supplies in exchange for power. Our relationship had been fruitful, but as of late, some wondering if the ghouls have gotten the better end of the deal. That is who? What do we say? Northeast. Badland Buckaroos, I guess? Right? Yeah. Okay, so boosts support. Boosts support for tolerance and improves the standing of Lynette's Old Guard party. Appoint advisor Garden of Gecko, who really sucks. Boost support for democracy, who also really sucks. Or nothing happens and he really sucks. See, stability -5 and political power gain -3. Old Guard or Democratic? Hold on one second. Okay, so here's the decision, guys, that we're ultimately going to do. It looks like there's going to be some sort of election, and we're either going to do Lynette, first citizen, or a New Direction. New Direction has the biggest chain, which kind of seems cool. But this one, yeah, honestly, this one seems really cool. What is this? Meyer? Is Meyer Democratic? Yeah. Let's do Democratic, because this, look at all this stuff. Iron shotgun, control of herds. I don't know. That seems cool. All right, let's go democracy. All right, good choice, bad choice, probably bad choice, who knows. The Outworld, the gem of the Wasteland has never been as bigoted as some portray, and worthy Wastelanders have always been able to gain citizenship. But we cannot let everyone into the utopia. Some gain citizenship due to their penetrating intellect, some by service to Vault City, and some a little bit of both. Absolutely, let's do it. We got another 7 days. Unfortunately, lots of waiting, lots of hanging out for the first little bit until we establish all this baseline stuff, and then eventually we're gonna get to the point where we're gonna start, I think, going for some war scores and stuff like that. Where's our... Let me just see really quick our construction. Yeah, we're not even close to our construction currently, but we are gaining factories somehow because we're trading, I think. So this is good, but it's still going to take a crazy amount of months to complete anything. All right, whoa, hold on. Okay, another look at the Outworld. One of First Citizen Lynette's wisest decisions was to take another look at the Outworld. Lynette married a senator from the NCR, dealt with the Chosen One, and welcomed refugees who needed a new home after their base off the coast of California got blown up in an act of terrorism, as they claimed. These refugees integrated themselves into day-to-day life in Vault City, like joining the Guard or any other pursuit that matched their skill set. We got stability -10, but we did get basic power armor tech and intermediate power armor tech. And we got a commanding officer. Okay, dokie. Now hold on, let's pause. Now if I recall, we can click here. Oh, here you go. We can click to assign commander in the top left. See, now we have this guy, Chad. Look at Chad. He's just good. So Mr. Chad is our commander. I don't think we've gone long enough. I just don't want to waste any time. No, we're good. Both of those are training. Okay, let's keep going. Next up is here, Presence of the Bear. Love it or hate it, the NCR is the strongest power in the Wasteland that we know of. Some chafe at the subsidy we pay to them, while others recognize it is better for them to die in pursuit of empire than our youth. Okay, fine. Let's unpause and we got another 7 days. Oh, there it is. Okay, Presence of the Bear. Ooh, lots of reading, I promised, right? The Baron Ardennes. When Roger Weston came to Vault City, he did not come alone. With him came a sizable detachment of NCR soldiers and engineers. The engineers were there to quickly erect some buildings and walls to house the soldiers then left. The soldiers, though, were here to stay in a permanent garrison right outside our walls. Back then, the rising threat of raiders was more than our guards could handle, and the NCR was here to help. Obviously, the NCR's involvement was not completely altruistic in nature. They clearly wanted to bring us into their fold, which was their first step. But the expected big push from the raiders never came, and neither did the NCRs for various reasons. But still the garrison remained. The soldiers were rotated out in regular intervals, but over time it became noticeable that with every rotation their equipment became worse. Outdated weapons in somewhat atrocious condition and lacking essential supplies. What also became worse was the character of the average soldier. Drunken brawls that needed to be broken up regularly by our guards. Brawls that should not have happened in the first place if some of the soldiers didn't also smuggle in alcohol, cigarettes, and sometimes even chems through the gates with their shipments from the NCR. But at that point, even with the raiders being less of a threat, a lot of our defense has become reliant on these soldiers, and just ousting the garrison would not go over well with our friends in the NCR. I actually couldn't really see the bottom there, but this is the last. So this is 30 days, end of a term, and then we get all this fun stuff that's going to happen. By all appearances, Lisette's first term as first citizen will be one of many, like her mother before her, but Security Chief Meyer has adopted the Californian heresy and is pushing for an election. Will the wisdom of Vault City prevail, or will mob rule come over the city of tomorrow? Okay, well now I don't know if I want first citizen Lisette to continue or not, but we'll see. We have a lot of research that's going to start finishing up pretty soon. I might even consider going speed 5. Let's go up a speed. Whoa. Oh my gosh, that's so scary. See that speed? We need 30 days to pass. There's really nothing else that's worth doing. At least to my limited knowledge. Now, I'm going to pause. I do see we do have 29 political power. We can't do any of these though. You know what we can also do? We can do some of this stuff, I think, which changes some of our policies, but this like economic and conscription law policies, but it does cost a decent amount. We're nowhere near what we need. So I think it kind of is what it is. We're just gonna keep going. Okay, we got a lot of research, which is perfect. Now we can do, I think we want encryption and decryption. It's so simple. It's 26 days. And what it does is it gets rid of this question mark, insufficient intel. I think if our decryption and encryption is less than other people, whoa, hold on. End of a term. He calls it democracy, I call it mob rule. Vault City has prospered under the guidance of its council, chosen by goats. These leaders in turn selected one of their number to be first citizen. Lynette's appointment was no surprise, given her mother's success, and she has guided the city well. Lynette supports ghoul rights and advocates stronger ties with the NCR, hoping to be a good influence upon the Wasteland. While Vault City should remain aloof, it can be a light in the wastes, while above the filth and muck that threaten so much. But not everyone is happy with the system. Meyer, the hero of the guard, has adopted the views of the NCR. Meyer believes the strength of the NCR comes from its people, and that Vault City can be the nucleus for a new free Nevada. Meyer's parents immigrated to Vault City in the 2240s, and he has adopted some of their ideals. Vault City should be governed by the people, for the people, and of the people. And the ghouls Lynette loves, well, they have to go. I mean, I kind of like that idea of radical change, only because this seems so enticing, all these different things, whereas this one seems a lot more passive, a lot less aggressive, and I love warmongering. So I think we're still gonna go democracy. Now, it looks like we can do these things. Boost the tolerance of the old guard, boost the tolerance of democracy. So if we wanna go into democracy, I think we go this way, right? So let's go, we can add production of 5 in Cortland. I love that. We can give us army experience. We can get manpower. We can get a building slot and an arms workshop. I love that. And we can get base war support, which I also love. Yeah, we're going to democracy. It's fine. Hopefully we have multiple Hearts of Iron 4 playthroughs. We're gonna do this. This gives us building slots and an arms workshop, which I love, and we're gonna let it roll. Ooh, that just okay. Whoa. Okay, hold on. Our friends of the South, Aaron Kimball, visited Vault City earlier today and threw his support behind First Lynette's re-election campaign in the upcoming Vault City selection, the first ever public election for the office of the First Citizen. Aaron Kimball was noted as giving a stirring speech before a council banquet over a glass of synthanol on the importance of the NCR and Vault City's economic ties. Kimball was quoted saying, "Whatever our differences, our support for the rule of law in order to bring us together. A fate far better than that one that blows us apart. More political power, and it boosts support for Old Guard." Now, I would love to experience combat in this game. I don't know that now is the time, but I kind of want to go against MODOK. There's got to be some intel here. Yeah, how many soldiers do they have? Can I see that? I don't see anything that's obviously soldiers here. I would love to know. Yeah, hold on. I kind of want to consider justifying on MODOK. I would love to. I have not yet experienced any battles in this game, and I really want to. Let's keep going. We're just gonna. Okay, hold on. Okay. All right, research slot finished. We got support equipment, which we're gonna start making. We are pretty far ahead on all this stuff. It looks like we're like almost a year. Warrior training, frontline platoons, division training time decrease, or crowd gear. Don't really know if crowd gear is any good. So let's go warrior training. It just seems good, and it's 76 days. No national focus. Okay, we got support the guard. That gives us our arm workshop. I think next we like this because it adds production. And I think anytime we have excess production is a good thing. Someone we gotta watch out for is Caesar's legions. Okay, hold on. Okay, free military factories. Why don't we produce, we have one free one. Why don't we produce support equipment? And do you see this right here? Production efficiency right there. Oops. Production efficiency is only 12%, so we're only making one a week. Eventually that'll be more. For now, that's good. We are making support equipment without any template, I think is what that means. You know what we could do? We can train our soldiers to get, these are all veterans though, so they're not really worth it. We are almost deployable in infantry, but we do need a lot more research, so hang with me. I say we do bikes, just because we have a large amount of research slots. None of this we can do right now. Creatures, I don't think we're capable of doing currently. Don't worry about land doctrine. Do we want a glider? Sure, we can start working on our air support. Navy we should start looking into, shouldn't we? But before we do, let's do this just because it's like basic research. And then let's unpause. We are gonna be getting pretty close. Whoa, hold on. Okay, national focus completed. We got the trade with Reno. That gets us some production here. Now we're gonna do, I guess we're gonna do this. Chaos in the Navarro territories. Northeast California burns today after a skirmish between Van Graff mercenaries and She settlers. Okay, fine. I gotta keep going. Unassigned divisions. Hello, division. It's nice to have you. So now I've added you here. See that? We have a division. He's level 2 trained. Now we can start an exercise. Units will consume equipment. Let's do it. They're training. It'll consume equipment. Oof, hold on. It'll consume equipment, but it'll train and gain army experience, which allows us to do some stuff in the future. We can do the mutant threat, and we can do condemn. I mean, I guess we're just gonna do all of it, so fine. Followers of the Followers of the Apocalypse. Following their recent establishment with our neighboring rivals, a group of humanitarian pacifists who dub themselves the Followers of the Apocalypse have begun trickling into our lands. Their aim is seemingly noble: to provide services to those in need, ranging from medical care to agricultural advice. They care for the parts of society we prefer to forget, be them homeless or junkies, and are accepting of all that have no one left to turn to. On this front alone, we have no qualms with them. Problems only start to arise when you look closely at our neighbors, where the Followers have been established for a while. Support for any kind of war amongst the people in these nations is slipping, as they prefer to stay on their farmsteads and practice with their new medicines. There's even some indication that the Followers accept seditious anarchists into their ranks, who are intent on either burning our nation to the ground or seizing power themselves. Once established in a nation, the Followers appear very difficult to uproot. We must therefore decide swiftly whether or not we should welcome these Followers. We're going to keep them from our lands. I'm a warmonger. Hold on. Okay. Begin a scavenging program. Sure. Okay, hold on. Followers. Placate the followers, divert the followers' supplies, or raid the followers' supplies. Okay, we can seize a follower's support. A follower's fort. The followers operate out of a number of forts and bases. We can march up to one of them and take it. It would piss the followers off quite a bit, though. Active for 15 days. Manpower plus 65. Effects when removed. Manpower plus 65. Adds 1 outpost, 1 building slot, 1 civilian workshop. Absolutely. Raid their supplies. We can get more manpower and research. Okay, let's start there. Because I want them gone. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. Research finished. Oh, man, this is gonna happen so fast. Okay. What do we want now? I think we're gonna do recruitable population factor, the top one. I don't know if it's the right call, but we're going for it. Great, and let's keep on rolling. Diplomatic event, nope. Okay, and then we're gonna go with, this happens July 1st, May, June, July. So it's gonna happen very soon. So we can get mutant threat. And I think we should be sufficiently democratic. Let's go with a bomb glider, I guess. And if we do have any construction that's happening, not really anything good. We could make a production line for gliders down here. Now, we don't have any factories, but once we get a factory, we actually would have them. I think with trade, I can get more factories. Gotta say, hold on to our political power, I think. Okay, hold on. National focus, research finished. National focus, we can't do this, but looks like anytime after July 1st we can do it. Do we want any of this? 1 infrastructure and 2 building slots. Production of 3. You know, I think we want this infrastructure and building slots. I think that's worth it, even though it's going to not help our democratic thing. Ultimately, I don't really care if we're not democratic. I don't really know what we're doing yet. You know, something I want to do. Let me do logistics. So we don't have enough supply robots, which I think is due to the training. So we have to increase. Actually, let's just play it. Who knows? Okay, we got this, and then in 15 days we'll be able to hold the election. Oh my God! Hold on. Modify government. Yeah, so with 100 political power, we can now modify the government. Modify officer corps, events or decision timeout. Oh, yes. Followers are established. This doesn't seem... We could try to improve our relations with the followers somewhat. I don't want to do that, right? I don't know if I want to do this or not. You know what? We're going to do it. I don't know if that was the right call. We're going to do it. I don't want the followers here, but... okay, almost at a point where we can do, let's just do 2 more days, 1, and there we go. Evening of the selection. Myers' instance to involve the regular citizens in this year's selection for the new first citizen was made this a way longer process. Normally the decision is made reasonably quick, away from the public eye, but no public speeches, blah, blah, blah. Okay, votes are in. Okay, we got democratic. The results of this year's selection proved Myers' hunch that the people of Vault City are not satisfied with the current situation. He was surrounded by a large amount of citizens in downtown Park, being congratulated for his victory. He wanted to get some words in, a speech he had prepared in advance, but the celebrations gave him no opportunity to come to word. Deciding to just go with the flow of events. Good. Let's pause. New direction. Selection. Okay. So we did get the new direction that I was looking for. Whether it's the right call or not remains to be seen. I'm going to get crowd control, I guess. And then also let's go barrage balloons proactively. I can do this. I mean, I can't do this, but I can do this, which actually unlocks all of this as well. So I actually can get down here. I just can't get this. Oh, that was the best decision. I'm happy with that. Okay, we can expel the NCR garrison if we want to. Or we can get 2 civilian workshops and 4 building slots. Abso-frickin-lutely. Yeah, we're going here. 2 civilian workshops. Huge, guys. That's huge. Okay, I'm very happy with this. I feel like we might have messed up with this followers thing. Okay, hold on. Vault City experienced a shakeup in leadership today with Security Chief Meyer announcing their victory over the incumbent First Citizen, coming into power on a wave of backlash. Security Chief Meyer promises to transform the city-state into the nucleus of a sovereign, democratic Nevada. Very good. This one makes me really nervous. Let's unpause. Let it go for a little bit. Decisions available. We can do some stuff here with our money, but I'm not gonna mess with that. And I think everything else, actually, you know what? Recruit and deploy. Oh, they're gonna infinitely create. Yes, they're gonna just keep creating, I think, soldiers, I hope. Okay, the followers, having failed to work out that they were behind the efforts to take advantage of them, the followers of Pacus have finally spread completely through our nation. They now occupy a number of forts, blah, blah, blah. Not good. War support -5. I don't love that. The followers are establish interactions with the followers. Yeah, okay. The current influence of the followers is 20. I don't think that's good. I don't know what we could have done differently, truthfully, but it is what it is. We do have some more technology. We gotta be almost. I think we're gonna go ahead and take the penalty. How about scout kit? I don't know. Enables special ops platoon. That sounds cool. And then we're putting a lot into air, which I don't know is a great idea because we're not even doing anything. Transport glider. I mean, paratroopers, right? Okay, let's let it go. Now we still don't have enough political influence to justify a war goal, right? No. But we're close. I really want to see how war works in this game. From me perspective. Okay, hold on. The Reclamation Authority. Security Chief Meyer has decided to construct a Reclamation Authority devoted to promoting scavenging in the Wasteland. This will give our nation expertise in scouting the wastes. Okay. Good. It says Vault City can be leveled up to level 4. What does that mean? How do you level up Vault City? I don't know, but we still have construction issues. We're getting there. 15 factories, right? We almost have another one. I would love some additional arms workshops, truthfully. Why don't we upgrade our infantry troops? We can get laser weapons, but we are so far ahead of time that we cannot do that, certainly. These are support things. Sure. Sure. You know what, we'll get some support. That's fine. How's our recruitment looking? We can train 2 divisions at once. We don't have enough of this production right now, so we're really just going to focus on people. I don't know if I'm moving fast enough. Uh-oh, what's happening? No. All right, so Vancouver Mavens requests lowered tariffs. Sure, I don't know that I really care. Okay, we got this national focus, which gives us 2 civilian workshops. That's a big deal, guys, I feel like. 50% research bonus on industry technology and electronics technology. We can get power armor and stuff like that. We can get monthly population and civilian factory construction speed for 180 days. I feel like that's good. Another civilian workshop here. If we wanted to, we can get anti-ghoul sentiment to kick out the ghouls. This is expelling the NCR garrison, which I think is like 1 or 2 soldiers. We're not quite there yet, so for now, let's just do tackling new projects until we can get more soldiers. And you know what we're gonna do? We're actually gonna train let's train 5 divisions. We need more infantry equipment, but that's fine. Let's just train 5 divisions. Let's just train 5 divisions. And you know what? Let's throw in motorization. Okay, let it load. Okay, hold on. Demand tribute. Jackals. How are we looking at the jackals? You guys are... Now, you know what? You're not gonna get pushed around. You get out of here. And you know what? I'm also gonna say... Oh, hold on. I'm also gonna move your front line. How do I remove front line? Nope, no. How do I move front line? Okay, hold on. There? Can I get rid of this? Hello? Okay, there you go. And then I want... Uh-oh. hold on. Okay, I want all you over here. Okay, hold on. Now, I can go to war with somebody. Who do we want to go to war with? I want to take out the jackals. Screw the jackals. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I really want a war before this is over. 85, and we'll take over a year. Yoinkers. It will take well over a year for us to justify. That's tough. That's really tough. I don't think we're meant to justify. Okay, well, we can modify the government. We could put in potentially, no, we're actually gonna wait because I don't 100% know. You have 2 NCR garrisons. So realistically, we probably can expel the NCR garrisons and I think would be fine. I really just need more production going here. We could increase the reliability of robots, which I think is generally a good thing if we're gonna do anything with robots. So I'm gonna pause this. Okay. Rats. Mole rats have infested the underbelly of Vault City. We aren't sure how they made their nest undetected, but at least 6 people have been partially eaten. Okay, important, partially. Only a man named Jeremy has died so far. Despite being a banker, his death has caused an outcry. Okay. People are leaving. Development income. That doesn't seem good. Now, I can do these decisions up here. Hold on. Okay, production boost, factory output increase. I actually can't do any of these at the top there. Okay, national focus complete. Very good. We get 2 50% research bonus for industry technology. Now we can do research bonus. We can do 2 development for Vault City. We can do lots of production, and we can do, I think we're gonna expel the NCR garrison. Because this is where we start getting some good stuff, it looks like. Off-map arms workshops, army experience. In a minute, we're going to expel the NCR garrison. Where's our recruitable people? We have 5 here being recruited. Okay, I want to go to war with somebody. That's what I want to do. You know what? Let's justify on the jackals. Screw the jackals. Yeah, screw you. Okay, it's going to take a year, but fine. Yeah, we'll go civilian factory, speed. Now we can modify our templates if we want to. Transport glider. Okay, I really need more workshops. That's what I really need. You know what? Let's just get seafaring in just so we have a little bit of that going. Okay, now hold on. So how's our logistics look? We have surplus of 184 CNC bots. We have a deficit of support robots. We have a decent amount of infantry equipment. We have a little bit of power armor. We just do not have enough military factories. That is the thing that we're missing. I'd like to start getting some gliders, for example. We can pull that back 1 and put 1 here. 7 a year. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, well, we'll just do this for now because we're not fighting or anything right now. Soon as we get those additional military soldiers that come in, we're going to get rid of the NCR. Throw in some dynamite, why not? Okay, we got motorization, which means we can start looking into, for example, trucks or tanks or anything. Yeah, I wouldn't mind some scrap tanks. That sounds fun. How about robotics? No, let's do resistor. That increases research speed again. That seems very good. We can get 4 building slots and 1 civilian workshop. I think we have to. Unfortunately, this is all just build up, isn't it? We're at 16. 16 of these, it's moving. It's gonna take almost a full year to get to this civilian workshop. That's kind of rough, guys. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Well, there were no wars, but we did get really established lore here, and I'm starting to feel a little bit more comfortable in this game and this system. I know if you made it to the end, good for you. Thank you so much for watching. I know that Hearts of Iron 4 can be can be an interesting, not boring, but it can be kind of tedious at times, especially during ramp up. I've watched a handful of people and playthroughs to know that it really gets going. When you start having an industry with the right equipment, and we start going to war, and we start having battles with front lines that move and stuff, it's going to be a lot of fun. Hang with me, give me a couple episodes of this, and then I think you're really going to enjoy it. But we're already at over an hour of record time, and I usually only record about 35 minutes in a recording. So thanks so much for watching. I do hope you're enjoying it, at least giving it a shot, and I'll see you in the next episode.